You're watching Fox 22 Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Good Morning Maine. Coming up on today's show, Handon Academy's principal is sleeping in the school's press box, all to help raise money for a school trip.
Plus, Maine's housing market is seeing a new trend. Is it finally cooling off? Find out this morning.
And the time is ticking as November is approaching. We'll see what the Maine Democrats were up to at Orono Brewing Company.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Joe Cortez. Thanks for joining us this morning. It's going to be a great day, most importantly because it's Friday. It'll be a little windy out there, though.
I know. We can deal with it, though.
Yeah, we can do it. You're from Maine, absolutely. Mainers can deal with
anything.
Hey,
you're a New Englander. It counts.
I'm a New Englander. I'm just not. I'm not a Mainer. I know that. So I've understood that. But hey, Mainers, you're resilient and you know how to handle the New England weather.
Yes.
Better than anybody.
We complain a lot, but that's part of the process.
I was about to say anybody in New England I think complains a lot.
Yes.
We love our four seasons, but yeah, we hate them all at the same time.
Part of the culture. We just have to. We just have to.
Devin Biggs has the first check of your forecast.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. Ansley has been a realtor since 2013. She works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, we have a lot of alerts here, and Fiona is a thanks for that, as we do have high wind warnings in effect lasting until about 8 p.m. on Saturday, with wind advisories expiring at 5 p.m. as well. These will kick in later on with the gusty winds that will be on the way. And further down the coast, though, of course, with all the gusty winds, we have gale warnings and even storm warnings in effect. We're not going to be seeing a lot of precipitation. The issue here is going to be gusty winds with this thing that's going to be moving pretty much very close to us. We're not going to see much precipitation, but we'll be moving in soon. This is a cold front here that's tracking on towards the east. This cold front is actually going to help us out with steering Fiona away from us. However, it's going to be close enough to give us some winds. But otherwise, though, this morning things are starting to calm down in the precipitation department. But as we do zoom things out a little bit more, we're starting to see the first little bits of Fiona down toward the south, tracking on towards the north and east, and we can zoom it out even more. It's hitting parts of Bermuda at this point, but it's going to continue to move off towards the north right along the cold front, and other parts of the world are going to be seeing this system as it moves in. As for back here at home, though, overall, we won't be too bad. Some gusty winds reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times, with some higher gusts up to 35 before we're all finished up. Otherwise, though, here's your hourly forecast. We'll be watching for a mostly cloudy sky today with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma?
Thanks, Devin. First this morning, a month-long investigation by Maine DEA led to the arrest of a Fairfield man yesterday. MDEA says 35-year-old Justin LaCroix of Fairfield was arrested following the execution of a search warrant at a home on Hardwood Lane in Fairfield Thursday morning. Agents located approximately 280 grams of fentanyl and 225 grams of cocaine, along with $43,000 in suspected drug proceeds. Multiple vehicles outside the residence were also seized. The suspected street value of the drugs is approximately $65,000. LaCroix was transported to Somerset County Jail and will be charged with aggravated trafficking in Schedule W drugs.
The Maine Legislature's Government Oversight Committee has voted to obtain a subpoena that will force the state's Child Welfare Agency to turn over documents related to the deaths of 4 children last year. The Maine Department of Health and Human Services denied the previous request by lawmakers. DHHS said it has no concerns about providing the material to the Office of Program Evaluation and Government Accountability, which reports to the committee. A HHS spokesperson says the agency will share the requested documents with OPEGA as soon as possible.
Maine Democrats held a press conference at Orono Brewing Company with several Maine businesses who they say suffered under Paul LePage. Among the speakers were Maine Democratic Party Chair Bev Eulenhock, Representative Joe Perry, Penobscot Bay Weddings owner Emerald Forcier, and owner of Mert Enterprises Mary Rush. The speakers talked about their businesses and how they say former Governor LePage negatively impacted their daily lives. In contrast, they highlighted how they say Governor Mills' policies have supported the local businesses. Representative Perry says he sees the Mills administration doing what's best for the state.
The Democrats have a great platform, a great story to run on. This a success. The Mills administration has been a great success. We've got 2 balanced budgets. The economy's great. There's almost $1 billion in the rainy day fund. We're at full employment. There's $3.5 billion in the checkbook for the state of Maine. I mean, you couldn't ask for much more success than that.
In response, Republican State Senator Stacey Guerin from Senate District 10 responded on behalf of her party, saying Maine Republicans have long been known as the party that supports small businesses. She blamed Democrats for statewide staffing shortages.
The Democrats have made it possible for people to stay home, be on a number of different kinds of assistance, and not look for a job. The unemployment statistics look low, but they really aren't, because they don't include the people who are not looking for a job. Every small business in Maine, or nearly every, is looking for employees.
Paul LePage's daughter released a video statement pushing back against an advertisement suggesting LePage could seek to change abortion laws in Maine. In the video, Lauren LePage said her father has never opposed abortion in the circumstances of rape, incest, or when life of the mother is in question. She said he never sought to change the laws during his 8 years serving as Maine's governor.
I've seen the ads, and frankly, they're ridiculous. My dad, Governor Paul LePage, would never endanger the health and safety of Maine women just like me.
We reached out to the Mills campaign for a response, but they declined to comment. We also reached out to the Democratic Governors Association, which paid for the ad. Their senior campaign communications advisor, Christina Amistoy, released a statement saying, in part, quote, "For 8 years as governor, Paul LePage was one of the most prominent voices in Maine's anti-choice movement, and nothing has changed this go-around. LePage has publicized his belief that abortion should be restricted in Maine and refuses to rule out signing legislation that erodes women's reproductive freedoms if bills cross his desk."
As many as 18 million Americans can't afford their medications. That's according to a new nationwide poll. The Maine People's Alliance, legislators, and policy experts held a panel discussion yesterday to look at the problem and what's being done. Maine Representative Richard Evans says the price of prescription drugs in Maine increased by 12.3% between July 2020 and June 2021.
That forces people to have to make decisions regarding whether or not they're going to get their prescriptions, or whether they're going to buy groceries or pay for their heating oil.
Senator Edward Claxton, says some progress was made in the last year. Among the changes are new laws that allow pharmacists to fill emergency supplies of medications. He says a bill was also passed that requires all FDA-approved methods of contraception to be covered by insurance.
I think that's been a win for folks who are trying to manage family size and juggle jobs, plural, and get by.
The Maine People's Alliance is kicking off a new campaign called Make Meds Affordable to continue making changes. The time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, hear from Searsport's town manager as they work on a plan to rebuild its downtown.
But first, let's get a quick look at that forecast. Temperatures only warming up to the mid-50s. We have some wind in store, and the clouds will be moving in this afternoon. Tonight, it'll be sticking around. That wind is going to be kicking up. Those temperatures dropping down to a low of 44 degrees. And tomorrow for Saturday, there is a little bit of sunshine. That wind will continue to stick around, and those temperatures warming back up to a high of 62.
If you are in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine, you could get special financing at the Toyota 5-State Sales Event. There are new fuel-sipping Toyotas arriving daily, including popular models. Save with 2.49% financing on an all-wheel drive Highlander. And every Highlander comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and Toyota Safety Sense technology. The Toyota 5-State Sales Event at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Does your dream kitchen look like this? Or this? Or maybe you need a little more inspiration. Get it when you explore the complete in-store showroom displays at Hammond Lumber Company. When you find the look you like, the Hammond team will help you customize it, including accurate 3D renderings, so you can visualize your project before the work begins. Hammond offers statewide delivery and professional service after the sale. Your dream kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Ellsworth, is sponsored by Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. Tony Murray's Fairway Auto Sales. Come buy your vehicle the Fairway. It's not only a slogan, it's the way we do business. And Bucksport Regional Health Center has what your family needs for good health, medical, dental, behavior health, and more.
Start Saturday strong with America's #1 game. Big Noon Saturday on Fox. Wow! It all starts at 10 Eastern with Big Noon kickoff live from Ann Arbor. Then, Harbaugh's fourth-ranked Michigan Wolverines unleash their unstoppable high-octane offensive attack against Maryland. The best pregame, the best announcers, the biggest games. Maryland, Michigan, all part of Big Noon Saturday on Fox.
Work on rebuilding the wastewater treatment facility in Searsport could begin before the end of the year. Town manager James Gilway says they have been working for about 4 years to come up with a plan and secure funding for the project. He says they will repurpose the current structure and put in state-of-the-art technology.
The plant itself is 36 years old and has never had any major reconstruction done in it. So we knew we were coming to a real desperate point. Things were breaking, literally rusting out, and we were overdue to have a rebuild. And the rules for clean water have tightened.
The wastewater treatment plant sits on the banks of the Penobscot Bay. Gilway says it's important to protect the bay. He says the new technology is far superior when it comes to safeguarding the environment.
And continuing with the town of Searsport, it's working on a plan to rebuild its downtown area. Town manager James Gilway says the downtown has a number of problems, including challenges for ADA compliance and traffic flow. He says the project was put out to bid earlier this year, but nobody bid on it. Now they say easing some of the restrictions for doing the work. He also says they'll be putting out the bid soon, and he hopes to construction can begin next spring.
It's going to be painful to go through, but on the other end of this process, we're going to have a completely different looking town, and it's going to be beautiful.
Gilway says he hopes to get the majority of the construction done in the shoulder seasons so downtown businesses won't be impacted during the summer. Time is now 8:12. After the break, developers of a new subdivision in Bangor got the green light from the city this week. However, some residents are concerned about a problem that could occur.
Plus, the president of the Maine Association of Realtors spoke with us about where the housing market stands. We'll be right back.
All right, let's see what you got.
I still have some of this.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I might be getting older, but I take steps every day to live healthy and stay in shape, which keeps me at the top of my game. And if you're eligible for Medicare, you can too, with the help of a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. There's another one.
As you get older, having good health means you can do the things you enjoy every day, like jumping into a basketball game. United Healthcare can help you do your best to stay healthy. I mean, healthcare shouldn't start when you're sick.
It's great to have someone there to help you take that first step.
It's easy to procrastinate and put things off to tomorrow, but it really doesn't have to be a production to work out. Just put on your shoes and go for a walk. It takes like 20 minutes. Some people are motivated by going to the gym, taking a yoga class, or working out together. When you team up with people with like goals, you're set up to be both physically and mentally healthy. Having that community can make all the difference.
Staying hydrated and eating well is a big part of it too. It's about making simple choices. I recently gave up soda for water. You know, it's never too late to make those good choices. I want to stay healthy as long as possible so I can teach my grandkids someday to do this.
And unlike basketball, traveling is a good thing with United Healthcare. You'll rest easy knowing you're covered when you're on the go, visiting family or taking that trip you always wanted to go on. So go on that vacation and take your healthcare coverage with you.
The ball's in your court now. Take your shot and see how United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan can help you live your best life.
Go to uhcnewengland.com or call 1-800-236-3146.
United Healthcare of New England. See what care can do for you.
Members of the Lancaster Avenue neighborhood in Bangor are upset with the recent progress that's being made. Matthew Duronsik has more on the story.
Developers of the subdivision at Lancaster Avenue and Essex Street were given the green light by the city of Bangor on its project.
We actually, after 4 meetings with the planning board, were approved on Tuesday night.
Consisting of 30 duplexes, the property would house more than 60 residents near the intersection of Lancaster Avenue and Essex Street. However, some residents are concerned the problems it will bring.
With 180 people coming back and forth 2 times a day or more, it's just going to increase dramatically the number of people going in, the speed, influencing the safety of the pedestrians and people who like to walk back and forth on this road.
This site was looked at for development back in 2006, but ended with permits expiring. Emily Ellis, the developer who owns the property, says the location is a prime spot.
I thought, yeah, this is 12 acres. It's in a great spot. It's next to trails, the doggy park, close to I-95, the airport. I mean, it's a nice big 12-acre parcel smack dab in the middle of Bangor.
Ellis told us that the city of Bangor approved her permits, but is waiting on the Department of Environmental Protection to also approve the permits. Once built, each unit would cost about $250,000. Even with everything in motion, neighborhood resident Travis Duty is uneasy about this decision.
You know, we have a lot at stake. We're longtime residents. Myself, I've lived here for 32 years in this neighborhood. And we don't feel that our feelings are being heard out by the planning board or the developers.
Ellis says she plans to be a good neighbor.
I understand that it's change. I would say, love thy neighbor as thyself.
Matthew Juroncic, ABC7 and Fox 22.
The Maine Association of Realtors is reporting an ease in sales during the month of August. The August 2022 housing report states single-family existing homes across the state dipped 9.89% compared to sales in August of 2021. Although we are seeing a drop in sales, the values for homes remain high, with an average median price of $340,000 per single-family home, which is an increase around 9.68% compared to August of 2021. Madeline Hill, president of the association, says we're not seeing a cool-off just yet.
Trend in the housing market currently is we're starting to see a balance with the interest rates having a slight increase but still being historically low. Buyers are starting to reevaluate their targeted price points. And what that's doing is it's creating a little bit more opportunity for everybody in the market.
Hill said the market is heading towards more opportunistic trends for buyers and sellers. She said they are still experiencing inflated premium price points, but the supply is what they need. The National Associations of Realtors reports the sale of single-family homes decreased 19.2% nationwide in August.
The time is now 8:18.
Now let's get Devin Biggs in here. He has another check of that windy forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. Ansley has been a realtor since 2013. She works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, we have some alerts in effect, and Fiona is the culprit for all of this right here, though, with high wind warnings in effect until 8 p.m. on Saturday, and wind advisories also in effect till about 5 p.m. or so. While further down toward the coast, though, here we are. We have gale warnings in effect and storm warnings in effect, courtesy of the system that's going to be passing by. Some of these last till about 5 p.m. Saturday, others till about 8 p.m. or so. The winds will be an issue for the next day, so definitely be careful. It's definitely going to be causing some power outages, with some gusts reaching up to 50 to even 55 miles per hour, especially in the eastern ends of the state. So definitely make sure to be ready for power outages. That's a cold front right there that's bringing some of the precipitation away from us and kind of steering Fiona further away from us. So this thing will not be making any landfall in our neck of the woods, but the cold front will be causing it to get close enough. We will feel some of its impacts, but once it gets out of here, we will have high pressure move in, and that will help to calm things down once it begins to move in. Look at the infrared satellite. This is minute by minute imagery right here as this thing tracks on towards the north and east, and we're starting to see a little bit more development across the southwestern parts of that eye sidewall, so it's helping to maintain its strength right now as it does continue to track off to the north and east and hits parts of Bermuda as well. A little bit more of a wider look. It just continues to track off towards the north and east and pretty much has accelerated as well, with winds now down to about 125 miles per hour. A Category 3 hurricane now, but still very powerful, moving towards the north-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. That projected path has it tracking off towards the north pretty quickly, though, over the next day or so, with that very skinny path with a high confidence level in the forecast, and will go extratropical. And as we head towards next week, this thing will be moving far away from us. But back here at home, no, of course, gusty winds will be an issue even today, as we will have gusty winds up to 25, even 35 miles per hour. And it gets worse as we head towards the daytime tomorrow, especially across the eastern ends of the viewing area, with some gusts ranging from around 35, maybe even 55 miles per hour at times. So power outages will be an issue with some of those storms, or I should say with that system that moves away from us. There will not be any precipitation with this. This will all be gusty winds. Our average high is 68 degrees. We're going to be cool today with highs only in the middle 50s and some 60s on the way for the next few days once things begin to calm down. Then we're back in the upper 50s as we head towards your Thursday. Futurecast, the big focus will be the clouds today and, of course, the gusty winds as Fiona starts to get a little bit closer and the pressure gradient getting very tight as we head towards Saturday morning. As the system really begins to move in, we'll have a few passing clouds as well. But once Fiona starts to track off towards the north and east, things will start to relax, things will start to clear out as well, and things will start to look nicer as we head towards your Sunday. So your forecast coming up, we got to be ready for the wind. It will be mostly cloudy and windy, highs in the mid-50s, that west wind gusting up to about 35 miles per hour. Later on time, middle 40s, mostly cloudy and windy, with that northwest wind gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy and windy, northwest wind gusting up to possibly 50 miles per hour at times. Your Ansley Moore extended forecast. We finally start to calm down on Sunday with a partly cloudy sky and highs in the mid-60s, mid-60s again on Monday with a chance for storms, and partly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the upper 60s.
Looking for your dream home? Contact a Next Homie today and see what's available right now. Sellers, get ready to get looped and get sold. With Next Home Experience, we have your buyers.
I was just telling these guys about Jared Golden. He's a Marine who puts country ahead of politics. And then there's Bruce Poliquin. He's a multi-millionaire Wall Street banker who went to Washington, took all that money from the insurance industry, and voted to let them increase premiums. Worse, Poliquin said he wants to raise the retirement age. He's for them, not us. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
Just as cooler weather comes along, so does another great offer from Renewal by Andersen. All this month, $300 off each of our energy-efficient windows, $800 off each door, nothing down, no payments or interest for 12 months for qualified buyers. Schedule a free in-home consultation at rbagreatermaine.com.
The better way to a better window. Renewal by Andersen.
It's been a great summer at Dorsey Furniture, but it's time to start thinking about fall. Our new fall introductions are arriving daily and we need to make room. This means big discounts on selected items. How big? Half off. We didn't stop with just a few items. We have marked down every item in every department. Come to Dorsey Furniture during our fall clearance sale and you won't be disappointed. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden.
Hello, Maine. This is Steve McKay. Not sure what the weather will be in your neck of the woods, but there's a 100% chance of Luke showing up near you. Next Home Experience is listing and selling homes throughout Maine. Get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We will open it up with the big news coming out of Boston starting Wednesday night, with information coming in all day on Thursday. And the Celtics will be without Ime Udoka for the upcoming season at least. Udoka has been suspended by the Celtics, not the league, for the entire season for violating team policies. Per sources, it was his role in a consensual relationship with a female staff member. We also know that replacing him as interim head coach will be assistant Joe Mazzulla, the Rhode Island native, per Adrian Wojnarowski. And in their statement, Boston said a decision about his future
his future will be, after the season, will be made at a later date. So tough news for Seas fans. Ime in a statement apologized to players, fans, the organization, and his family. He accepted the team's decision, but offered no further comment. In just his first year in Boston, he led them to an NBA Finals for the first time since the Big 3 days. So hopefully some more information to the story comes out soon. We're going to head to the ice now. Maine men's hockey did not have the best 2021, but they've all been on the ice for months, since summer, and they are ready to flip the switch this season.
We're not the old Maine hockey, we're the new Maine hockey, right?
Year 2 of the Ben Barr era in Orono is underway, with the Black Bears gearing up to open the season in just over a week.
We're just fired up, actually. Everybody's on the same page pretty much. We're just tweaking things now.
Coach Barr and his staff have only been on the ice with the team since the start of school, but that hasn't been the same for the players.
We've already clicked. We're already feeling comfortable together. It feels like, we've already through about Christmas time, halfway through the year already. We haven't even started yet. So we're fortunate for that. We've been out here working out, skating 5 days a week, 6 days a week since July. And, I don't know if a whole lot of other teams are doing that.
That's all voluntary stuff, right? We can't mandate that they come back. And I've never been in a program where every player came back in the summer. And we had every player here.
And with only 12 returning guys, that summer session was key in getting everyone going and giving them a good chance come puck drop in October.
We should have 3 weeks together, but since everybody's been here since July, it feels so different. Everybody knows each other. Everybody's excited to be around each other. So the team's in a good space, I think, and we're excited to see what's going to happen in Colorado.
I think we're starting off on a better foot than we did last year. We put the time in this summer to give ourselves a chance to compete when that puck drops on in Denver in a couple of weeks.
With a big chunk of new guys all giving up their summers for the program, it shows not only coach, but the returners too, that the buy-in is definitely there this season.
For the most part, we just have everyone buying in. It's a little different, right? When you have every guy buying in, from not only the players, the coaching staff, to video guys, our trainers, we all hold each other to the same standard, and when you have that going, it's a pretty cool environment.
And while they have the right group donning the blue and white, they all know it's going to take a lot of work to turn this ship around.
It's not going to happen overnight. We're not going to, come October, be ranked number 1 in the nation at that point, right? But I think our players understand that and understand the processes this is going to take to turn this program around.
All right, let's move on now. Let's hit the diamond for some playoff baseball. The Sea Dogs season on the line Thursday night in Somerset. A win, and they force a winner-take-all Game 3 on Friday. Beautiful night on Thursday in Jersey for some baseball. Not really the same up here. Top 6, Portland already up 1-0. Steven Scott at the plate, and he is going to rip this one to right field. That's going to be caught, but it is deep enough to bring in David Hamilton on the sac fly. Dogs are up 2-0. In the 7th, a 3-1 game, and we are going to make it 3-2 after Taylor Broadway issues a walk with the full count. And then again, next batter later, walking Austin Wells, so the game is tied, and now we are going to move on to the 8th inning. Hudson Potts at the dish. He unloads on this pitch. It's going dead center, right at the batter's eye, and that ball is gone. That's going to bring in Christian Koss, make it 5-3. To the bottom of the 9th, 2 on for Andres Chaparro, and he is going to tie the game here with this bloop single into left. So we have some free baseball coming our way in New Jersey. Bottom of the 10th, same score. Brandon Lockridge is going to rip this one through the hole, and that will end the season for the Sea Dogs. The walk-off. Patriots advance, and they win this one 6-5. Tough way for the season to go out for Portland, but still a great run at the end of the season to clinch that playoff spot. Let's move on. Let's do some high school sports now. Not much going on outside on Thursday, so let's hit a volleyball game. Let's head inside. Hamden Academy hosting the Trojans from MDI. We are going to start in the 3rd set. MDI took the first 2. Broncos looking to avoid the sweep. It's Emma Shute with the serve, and the Trojans can't handle the return. That's the ace, 5-4. Now Trojans on top. Later, Trojans now. Addie Boyce is going to set it up nicely for Molly Ritter, and she spikes it in for the point there. So this was back and forth all 3rd set. It's Marnie Tracy now for Hamden. She serves this one up. No return. That's another ace for the Broncos. They would lead 15-10, but here comes MDI. Again, it is going to be Addie Boyce. She is going to set up Ritter again right there for the spike. And like I said, here come the Trojans. Meredith Cook serving for MDI. She drops this one in for the ace. She would serve for 15 straight points to give the Trojans the win and the sweep. 3-0, the final score.
We're going to stay on the subject of high school sports. We have a busy day on Friday for week 4 of the Sports Blitz. Before all of the football starts, Maine field hockey has their conference opener. America East Action hosting New Hampshire in Orono at 3 p.m. And then the football starts, right? At 6 p.m. there is Old Town and Nokomis, a Class C matchup. We'll have those highlights. Same with Skowhegan and Bangor. The Riverhawks look to keep rolling. They'll be at Cameron Stadium. Brewer is also home again. They're hosting the Bulldogs from Lawrence. The Witches looking for their first win since week 1 over Bangor, and we will have a lot more action too. We'll have more of that Friday night at 11 on ABC. All right, that is all the time we have for sports right now. We will be right back after the break.
Mainers work hard, but Joe Biden's inflation is making life miserable. Heating oil costs are crushing Maine families. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and for too many, this means choosing between gas, groceries, or freezing. Biden and all Democrats created this mess, and they're making it worse. Congress needs more Maine common sense, not more spending on those who won't work or more taxes on those who do. I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message because Maine needs a congressman who will stand up to Biden and help Maine families.
Bathfitter doesn't just fit your bath. We fit your life. When a normal day is anything but normal, we fit your schedule with our unique tub-over-tub process installed in as little as a day. When high quality is the only quality that matters, we fit your standards with a lifetime guarantee. Bathfitter. It just fits.
Now, with $600 off a complete bath system, it fits your budget too. We've never had a promotion this big, so call or click now.
If you've been injured in an accident, tell them you mean business.
Happy Friday, Maine. It's September 23rd of 2022. There are 99 days until the new year. That is a scary thought to have. Well, this may surprise you. Nintendo, the Japanese gaming company, was founded 133 years ago today, and it was as a card company.
ABC's first color TV series went on the air 60 years ago today. It was called The Jetsons. You may have heard of it. 36 years ago, Congress selected the rose as the U.S. national flower. I did not know that. I didn't know we had a national flower.
Really?
Yes.
I learned that a couple years ago.
It makes sense, though. It makes sense, though. What were you going to say?
The movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Movie.
I stepped on your
You were
toes.
already ahead of it. Shawshank Redemption premiered 28 years ago today. You may have known he was written by a local Maine author. He's pretty well known. Had a birthday the other day. Stephen King, maybe. TV's Modern Family premiered 13 years ago. You can watch it weekdays on Fox 22.
Rocker Bruce Springsteen is 73. Remember George Costanza from TV's Seinfeld? I find him unforgettable. Actor Jason Alexander is 63. I don't know. Has he had any other roles since then? He's permanently George after doing that.
Yeah, always been, but I don't know. Probably. Plus, this was a little before our time, so when we watched it, it was later
It's on Netflix. I'll still watch Seinfeld here and there. And today is National Great American Pot Pie Day. Not just Pot Pie Day. Great American Pot Pie. What makes a pot pie great and American?
Ooh.
Does it have to be chicken? Is a pot pie chicken?
I think it's got to be chicken.
Because shepherd's pie is always beef.
Yes.
I love both.
Oh, both, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can meal prep them.
I'd probably go with shepherd's pie more than chicken pot pie because shepherd's pie is more unique in a sense. Like, I feel like I've had chicken pot pie way more in my life than I've had shepherd's pie.
I get that. And you can get frozen chicken pot pies.
Yeah. Ma used to keep those in the fridge or freezer and just like, hey, I got to run out. I know you got a game. There's a chicken pot pie in the freezer for you.
I have one in my freezer right now. It's a good emergency meal. Yep. It is also Native American Day, and it's Restless Legs Awareness Day.
Can you tell?
And a programming note, ABC 7 News at 6 is on the road, broadcasting live tonight from Ellsworth. Make a plan to join Peter Dubois and Beth Jones. Kind of a fun way to kick off the weekend, I'd say.
Yeah, there's a lot of events going on. They'll be down there for Autumn Gold, kicking off in Ellsworth. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I know. Ellsworth has always good stuff to end the summer on. That's fantastic.
You may need a windbreaker, though. Let's throw it over to Devin Biggs. The wind is going to be gusting through our area, and it could be getting up. I heard over 20, 30 miles per hour, so could be a tough one for us. Devin, what's going on?
Good morning, Devin.
And thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. Ansley has been a realtor since 2013. She works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, we have a lot of alerts here, and Fiona is a thanks for that, as we do have high wind warnings in effect lasting until about 8 p.m. on Saturday, with wind advisories expiring at 5 p.m. as well. These will kick in later on with the gusty winds that will be on the way. And further down the coast, though, of course, with all the gusty winds, we have gale warnings and even storm warnings that affect back. We're not going to be seeing a lot of precipitation. The issue here is going to be gusty winds with this thing that's going to be moving pretty much very close to us. We're not going to see much precipitation, but we'll be moving in soon. This is a cold front here that's tracking on towards the east. This cold front is actually going to help us out with steering Fiona away from us. However, it's going to be close enough to give us some winds. But otherwise, so this morning, things are starting to calm down in the precipitation department. But as we do zoom things out a little bit more, we're starting to see the first little bits of Fiona down toward the south, tracking on towards the north and east, and we can zoom it out even more. It's hitting parts of Bermuda at this point, but it's going to continue to move off towards the north, right along the cold front, and other parts of the world are going to be seeing this system as it moves in. As for back here at home, overall, we won't be too bad. Some gusty winds reaching up to about 20 miles per hour at times, with some higher gusts up to 35 before we're all finished up. Otherwise, though, here's your hourly forecast. We'll be watching for a mostly cloudy sky today with temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Joe and Emma.
What may look like a death wish to most is pure fun for one famous free climber.
Fox News correspondent Marianne Rafferty has a look at one man's adventure up a building roughly 600 feet tall, all without a rope or harness, and his inspiring message about staying in shape and conquering our fears as we age.
And just like that, he's off. Famed free climber Alain Robert taking on this 48-story skyscraper in France, all without a harness and safety gear, armed with only a pair of climbing shoes and a bag of chalk to keep the sweat off his hands.
Yeah. It's very impressive. It's scary to watch, but I hope he won't fall.
And while this daredevil has made it to the top of many structures around the world, this special climb is in honor of his 60th birthday.
I want to send people the message that being 60 years old is nothing. You can still do sport, be active, do fabulous things.
Even though his stunts aren't for most people, Robert's message isn't far off, with the CDC stating regular physical activity is critical for older adults to maintain their health and wellness. Adding people 65 and older need at least 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week. While scaling a tower isn't on the list of recommended activities, the agency says a brisk walk should suffice. The CDC also recommends adults in this age group do at least 2 days of muscle strengthening exercises each week, as well as spend 3 days focusing on their balance.
It's not a very difficult building to climb.
Meantime, balance is something Robert doesn't lack, with the French Spider-Man successfully making it to the top of this building in roughly an hour, according to local reports. Robert began climbing back in 1975. Since then, he's ventured up more than 150 skyscrapers around the world. Most of his climbs aren't approved by the building's owners, resulting in numerous arrests. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News. If you're flying to New Zealand, you can now leave from the East Coast and soon in economy sleeping pods. Air New Zealand has now added direct flight service between New York City and Auckland, New Zealand. And coming in 2024, the airline will be adding bunk bed style sky nests, sleeping pods that will even let economy class flyers stretch out and rest for the long haul flight.
The nests have pillows, beddings, earplugs, and reading flights and can fit passengers up to about 6 feet 5 inches tall. The nests will be on Air New Zealand's 787 Dreamliner planes.
Living out to sea is made easier now and without yachts, thanks to a Panama-based company. The company, called Ocean Builders, makes sea pods, which are eco-friendly. They're billed as restorative floating homes and are made for seaside destination locations.
The pods sit 8 feet above the water and are luxuriously designed, and their designs help create underwater ecosystems below the homes. The floating homes start at $295,000 and can go up to $1.5 million. 100 custom pods will be ready by the end of 2023.
A classic romantic drama heads back to the big screen. A pop singer opens up about her personal life and more.
Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from the Hollywood Nation.
Gomez shares Pinhead scares and The Bodyguard returns in the Hollywood Nation.
You pay me to protect you.
The Bodyguard, starring late legendary singer Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner, is heading back to theaters in celebration of its 30th anniversary. The film centers on the ill-fated romance between a pop star and a former Secret Service agent who is hired to protect her. The special screenings of the 1992 classic are scheduled for November 6th and 9th.
Life is full of surprises.
Production has begun on season 2 of the HBO Max series Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, Sarah Jessica Parker shared the news along with a photo on Instagram.
Greater delights await.
Hulu unleashes the scares in today's First Looks. The streamer released a first trailer to its remake of the 1987 horror classic Hellraiser, starring Jamie Clayton as the brand new iconic monster Pinhead. It will debut October 7th. And Selena Gomez gives a sneak peek at her upcoming documentary, My Mind and Me. The film chronicles the pop singer's mental health journey after years of fame, featuring raw footage from her personal everyday life. It premieres on Apple TV Plus November 4th. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And still to come here on the second half of our show, Principal Bill Tracy has agreed to take part in the Free the Principal event at Hamden Academy, all with a goal of $2,000 for the school's music department.
Plus, after a 2-year hiatus, the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association is kicking off the Common Ground Fair. We'll be right back.
Don't believe the lies from Washington's special interests. Jared Golden's a different type of Democrat. I respect that Jared served in the Marines. Jared's a friend of law enforcement, and we definitely can trust them to keep our communities and families safe. Jared is standing strongly against defunding the police.
This endorsement was not a given. Congressman Golden's earned it.
Mr. Golden will definitely fight for us and be in our corner and have our backs, absolutely.
I'm Jared Golden, and I'm honored to approve this message.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Check one, check two. The store's appearance may have changed throughout the years, but its dedication to our community and families has not wavered. We will still welcome you with a smile and top-notch service. If you need coffee,
check.
Tasty treats,
Check.
freshly made pizza, check. Or wine and spirits,
Check.
stop by and fill up your tank and check us out.
In memory of Michael G. Quirk, Quirk Auto Group will be hosting blood drives throughout their statewide locations in Augusta, Bangor, Belfast, and Portland in partnership with the American Red Cross. This event will be open to employees, family, friends, and members of the community. Sign up to donate blood or volunteer by going to quirkauto.com/Red Cross.
Hey, I'm Jerry O'Connell. Join me this fall right here on Fox 22 at 10 a.m. for Pictionary.
Welcome back. Hamden Academy's principal is sleeping in the school's press box, all to help raise money for a school trip. It's the second year Principal Bill Tracy has agreed to take part in the Free the Principal event, which kicked off Wednesday night. The goal is to raise $2,200 to help send members of the school's music department on a trip to New York City.
I hope he's brushing his teeth and he brought his PJs, though. I mean, like, you need a place for that stuff. Principal Tracy says he'll continue to sleep in the press box until the money is raised.
Goal is hopefully in 2 nights, because I will be headed back down to work each day, but 2 nights would be all right. Third night might stretch it a little bit, but I'm willing to stay as long as it takes.
During the long weekend in New York City, students in the music department will have the opportunity to perform and attend shows. Principal Tracy says it's important to provide students with cultural experiences like these.
I'm a firm believer in pathways for students, and if there's something that they really want, and that could be music for many of our students, I want them to be able to see all aspects of it and be able to jump in with both feet.
And if you'd like to help free the principal, you can drop off donations at the Hamden Academy front office. You can also donate via Venmo by searching Hamden Academy Music Association. And the annual Common Ground Fair will kick off today for the first time since before the pandemic. I believe it starts in about 17 minutes, but it's put on by the Maine Organic Farmers and Gardeners Association. The Rural Living Celebration will feature over 1,000 exhibitors and speakers with plenty of food and product vendors, with the festival overall working to emphasize the vibrant communities in Maine, as well as the sustainable living practices and local economies they encapsulate.
Tickets are about $20 for adults, $15 for elders, teens, and people with disabilities, and kids under 12 have free admission. For more information, go to mofga.org.
Dollar Dog Night is a tradition at Phillies games. I love that tradition.
But this night took a whole new meaning for one man and his family who credited the event for saving his life.
Fox's Chris O'Connell explains.
Hot dogs grilled by the tens of thousands.
Hot dogs here.
Devoured by hungry fans in a Phillies' favorite ballpark promotion.
Dollar Dog Night, and I was just going for the record, and I got up to like 8.
Just like many Phillies fans, season ticket holder Bill Finn from media tried to get his money's worth at a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night last September. This is the last dog he ate before the tummy aches set in.
I woke up the next day and I was just dumbfounded, like I ate too many hot dogs.
Another week or two, he's still not feeling better, and I'm like, all right, you have to go to the doctor, but typical male, didn't want to listen to me.
Well, Bill finally did listen to his wife and went to see a doctor, lots of them. A month later, he learned that stomach ache wasn't from the hot dogs. Doctors told him it was stage 4 diffuse B-cell lymphoma, blood cancer.
They told me it was cancerous, and we just had to keep moving. And I said, well, my son's about to be born, so I can't miss that.
Their son Riker was born days before his treatment started. The next 7 months were followed by aggressive radiation and chemotherapy. But a year later, Finn and his family were invited back to the Phillies game on, you guessed it, Dollar Dog Night. Bill finished his treatments and is now feeling better. His outlook is good.
I went back to work. I still play softball, and I'm watching my son grow, so it's just a blessing.
With plenty more Phillies games in their future, Bill's family credits Dollar Dog Night for saving his life. They want others to hear the message.
If something's wrong, even if you ate too many hot dogs, go to the doctor right away.
How many dogs are you going to have tonight?
I don't think 8, but I'll try for it.
And after the break, we have some more upbeat stories for your Thursday morning. Or Friday morning.
I was about to say, we're not going backwards.
No.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
People today. They could spend half their lives over 50, but it's gonna take some planning.
What can you do for me?
Make sure your money lives as long as you do. The younger you are, the more you need AARP. Join today.
Today, you took delicious Centrum multi-gummies and took one more step towards taking charge of your health. They're packed with essential nutrients for energy and immunity support. So every day, you can say, with Centrum multi-gummies.
Fast, friendly, honest, and clean. Counted right in front of you. You won't have to wait long to leave Brewer Redemption Center with cash in your hand. Located in the North Brewer Shopping Center behind the Parody, Brewer Redemption Center is open Tuesday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturdays, 8 to 4. So grab those returnables and head over to Brewer Redemption Center today. Our team is waiting for you. In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
On the next Last Man Standing.
What the heck are you doing?
Have you seen the movie Field of Dreams?
No.
Well, go watch it while I build my hockey rink.
Boyd gets his game on, but Mike's on thin ice.
The hockey game was awesome. Hockey? What? Tony, I thought you were taking him to the ice show.
We don't like exposing Boyd to that much violence.
It was a sporting event. I didn't expect a bloodbath. That was just like a bonus.
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22.
And here's a look at some of those upbeat stories making headlines today.
A company called Guy's Snacks in Missouri is known for its potato chips, and now they're working on new recipes in order to enter the marijuana market. It comes as voters in November will consider whether to allow legalized pot. The company is developing its snacks in conjunction with a local cannabis grower who's also working on new products. It'll take 5 painters, 1 day, and 400 gallons to freshen up the 9-letter Hollywood sign in the Santa Monica Mountains. The icon is painted once a decade, but this job comes just in time for the 100th anniversary of the sign. First step is erecting swing stations for the painters because the sign is on a 45-degree angle on rocky terrain with no easy access. And the International Olympic Committee is working to make sports accessible to refugees all over the world. That's according to IOC President Thomas Bach, who visited Jordan's Zaatari refugee camp yesterday. He spent the day playing football and table tennis with Syrian children. Bach says sports improve physical health, boost mental health, and promote better education, and will help refugees assimilate in communities. And those are some of the other stories making headlines on ABC 7.
It's being dubbed the farm of the future. Fox News correspondent Anita Vogel has an exciting look at the sustainable efforts to use less land, water, and energy, while also using state-of-the-art technology to grow crops at lower costs.
The new efforts are helping farmers grow enough food in the face of ongoing climate change.
Ongoing climate change resulting in warmer seasons and prolonged drought continues impacting the world and its farmers. The crisis has some ingenious minds in Egypt using the latest technology to create the farm of the future, a farm not only resistant to climate change, but one that could also help the planet, instead of straining already scarce resources. Farmers say it starts with using alternative soil.
We use a product called cocoa peat, which is grinded coconut pith, to grow our crops in an environment free from disease, rot, bacteria, or any other harmful elements from the soil.
Seedlings planted in the cocoa peat then grow inside bags made from recycled bottles. You also won't find any pesticides being used here. Recycled water also flows to the plants when they need it, preventing precious water and land from being wasted and contaminated. The farm also has facilities where crops grow vertically in water with help from some special lights.
It is very environmentally friendly. It consumes around 20 liters of water weekly, and it is operated by solar panels installed on top of the container.
With all these sustainable techniques, one might think these vegetables sell for high prices. But farm owners say the technology helps them grow 10 to 15 times more crops using a small amount of land and workers, helping to keep costs low. Anita Vogel, Fox News.
And now here's Devin Biggs with one final look at our forecast.
Good morning, Devin.
Thank you very much, Joe and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Ansley Moore. Ansley has been a realtor since 2013. She works throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Alrighty, we have some alerts in effect, and Fiona is the culprit for all of this right here, though, with high wind warnings in effect until 8 p.m. on Saturday, and wind advisories also in effect till about 5 p.m. or so. While further down toward the coast, though, here we are. We have gale warnings in effect and storm warnings in effect, courtesy of the system that's going to be passing by. Some of these last till about 5 p.m. Saturday, others till about 8 p.m. or so. The winds will be an issue for the next day, so definitely be careful. It's definitely going to be causing some power outages, with some gusts reaching up to 50 to even 55 miles per hour, especially in the eastern ends of the state. So definitely make sure to be ready for power outages. That's a cold front right there that's bringing some of the precipitation away from us and kind of steering Fiona further away from us. So this thing will not be making any landfall in our neck of the woods, but the cold front will be causing it to get close enough. We will feel some of its impacts, but once it gets out of here, we will have high pressure move in, and that will help to calm things down once it begins to move in. Look at the infrared satellite. This is minute by minute imagery right here as this thing tracks on towards the north and east, and we're starting to see a little bit more development across the southwestern parts of that eye wall. So it's helping to maintain its strength right now as it does continue to track off to the north and east and hits parts of Bermuda as well. A little bit more of a wider look. It just continues to track off towards the north and east and pretty much has accelerated as well, with winds now down to about 125 miles per hour. A Category 3 hurricane now, but still very powerful, moving towards the north-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. That projected path has it tracking off towards the north pretty quickly slightly, though, over the next day or so with that very skinny path with a high confidence level in the forecast, and will go extratropical. And as we head towards next week, this thing will be moving far away from us. But back here at home, no, of course, gusty winds will be an issue even today, as we will have gusty winds up to 25, even 35 miles per hour. And it gets worse as we head towards the daytime tomorrow, especially across the eastern ends of the viewing area, with some gusts ranging from around 35, maybe even 55 miles per hour at times. So power outages will be an issue with some of those storms, or I should say with that system that moves away from us. There will not be any precipitation with this. This will all be gusty winds. Our average high is 68 degrees. We're going to be cool today with highs only in the middle 50s and some 60s on the way for the next few days once things begin to calm down. Then we're back in the upper 50s as we head towards your Thursday. Futurecast, the big focus will be the clouds today and, of course, the gusty winds as Fiona starts to get a little bit closer and the pressure gradient getting very tight as we head towards Saturday morning. As the system really begins to move in, we'll have a few passing clouds as well. But once Fiona starts to track off towards the north and east, things will start to relax, things will start to clear out as well, and things will start to look nicer as we head towards your Sunday. So your forecast coming up, we got to be ready for the wind. It will be mostly cloudy and windy, highs in the mid-50s, that west wind gusting up to about 35 miles per hour. Later on time, middle 40s, mostly cloudy and windy with that northwest wind gusting up to about 40 miles per hour. Tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly cloudy and windy, northwest wind gusting up to possibly 50 miles per hour at times. Your Ansley Moore extended forecast. We finally start to calm down on Sunday with a partly cloudy sky and highs in the mid-60s, mid-60s again on Monday with a chance for storms, and partly cloudy on Tuesday, highs in the upper 60s.
If you are in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, or Maine, you could get special financing at the Toyota 5-State Sales Event. There are new fuel-sipping Toyotas arriving daily, including popular models. Save with 2.49% financing on most rugged four-wheel drive Tacoma models. Plus, get 2 years no-cost maintenance and Toyota Safety Sense technology. The Toyota 5-State Sales Event at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Ellsworth, is sponsored by Complete Tire Service Incorporated, providing automotive repairs and tire sales to customers from Ellsworth, Bar Harbor, Blue Hill, and surrounding areas. Shirley's Yarns, Crafts, and Gifts. What can we help you create today? And Disconnected Tattoo and Piercing Shop. We are a family-friendly tattoo and art shop in Ellsworth.
Mom and Dad, you must be so proud.
We're proud of all of our children.
She has to say that.
Oh, you can't run away from me forever.
Just a heads up, this is my good side.
Yeah.
Bazinga, bazinga, bazinga.
Ah! Are you trying to kill me?
Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
This is the time of year when we look for new things to serve when we have friends over to watch football, or when we're curled up on the couch binge watching our favorite show. It's easy, budget-friendly, and it goes together like this. We start by cutting half a dozen baking potatoes into wedges and seasoning with some olive oil and a bit of salt. After they're well coated, we place them on a couple of baking sheets and pop them in the oven until they're golden. Now you want to make sure you flip them halfway through roasting so both sides get nice and golden. Now we place these in a large bowl and toss them with some wing sauce until they're evenly coated. Then we drizzle them with some bottled blue cheese dressing and finish them off with a handful of chopped celery. What we end up with is a dish that combines everything we love about our favorite wings without the bones or greasy fingers. Everyone's going to love these, wing lovers or not. To get this easy recipe for our buffalo potato wedges, you know the routine. visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a wingdinger of a way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
The Bucksport Area Senior Center hosted a volunteer appreciation party to celebrate their hardworking